Good morning everybody and welcome back to Walking the Blunt Blade. I am Oliver. As you may have just seen in the quick short I played, this video is going to contain some disgusting material that may offend, which I really don't care about, some viewers. It might disturb some viewers that I care about if it's genuine. So there's your warning. I have done lots and lots of debating with myself for a long time. I've talked to close friends, some for, some against what I'm about to do. I've struggled much within myself. I don't even know how to discuss the topic, to be quite honest. And I can't. I'm kind of at a loss for words. I could talk for hours on end and then absolutely say nothing. But because I have had people ask, what's with all the cuts on your knuckles and why are you always covered up, I'm going to give an explanation. So this is personal to me. You can stop watching now if you're going to be offended and or disturbed, because I will show some funky little images, and I'm going to spend the next little while reading a letter of thank you to the clinic that assisted me. I'll leave the names out of it, of specific people. However, I'll mention the clinic. Cheers everybody, good morning. Dear Blank and everybody else, this is a well overdue email for which I apologize. I have given it much thought and struggled to figure out how I am going to emphasize my gratitude without oversharing while overcoming my shame in regards to my ailment, illness, disease. I'm happy for you to share this email with all parties you consider relevant. A little of my background. I am German born. I have spent 26 years working in the healthcare mental health industries and approximately 4 years working in the disability field. I am fairly well travelled and have worked and taught in other countries such as the US and Germany. This means, perhaps arrogantly, that there isn't much I have not seen. I like efficiency. I hate having my time wasted. It also means that sadly I understand good healthcare is hard to find. The above is important to know only because I want you and the staff at the Goulburn Health Hub to understand that my appreciation doesn't come lightly. That said, I want you to know that every interaction I have had with your medical staff and or clerical staff during my visits and or over the phone have been pleasantly surprising, whereby everybody I have interacted with has been efficient, courteous, and more importantly, reliable. The GHH appears to be a genuinely caring organization with employees who are effective. Thank you and well done to you all. Disease. Google medical descriptions say the following. Psoriasis is a chronic, long-lasting disease in which the immune system becomes overactive, causing skin cells to multiply too quickly. Patches of skin become scaly and inflamed, most often on the scalp, elbows, or knees, but other parts of the body can be affected as well. A description of psoriasis. It's a horrific, relentless and crippling long-lasting disease in which the immune system becomes overactive, causing skin cells to multiply too quickly. Regardless of where it is on the body or how much there is, it can have devastating physical, psychological and spiritual effects on sufferers, making sleep and everyday life challenging to say the least. The following is a very quick synopsis of my experience as a sufferer of psoriasis. I am not writing this because I want sympathy, nor do I wish to bore people, but again I want people to understand how grateful I am. Dr. Blank and other dermatologists understand this condition, but she may not know how truly grateful I am. Psoriasis and me. That almost sounds sweet and romantic. However, given the length of time we spent together, let me assure you it was nothing but unpleasant, to say the least. Psoriasis, even in small patches, is very irritating, painful and itchy. Reflecting back, I had my first outbreak in my teens at high school, where I was bullied and harassed and became known as the guy looking for love in all the wrong places, or just the freak. Not much was known about psoriasis back then, and led by GPs and specialists, I applied every concoction available with no results, other than making my life more unpleasant. I learned to cover up and put up with the effects. Throughout the years, going steady with psoriasis, not by choice, the condition worsened, and I sought help in various places and from various sources, studying and learning as much as I could about my lifelong partner. I tried many things, including but not limited to Chinese medicine, naturopathy, diets, climate changes, high doses of vitamins with lecithin, prescribed specialist medicines and ointments, etc. I also tried avoiding certain foods and drinks, soaps, colognes, washing detergents, etc. In all fairness, most of the above-mentioned things worked to varying degrees. However, no matter how much I tried to get rid of the psoriasis, the more it seemed to return, nastier and stronger than before. Given my background earlier, and the continued use of new products as they arised, I became disappointed, skeptical and frustrated of healthcare. Again, there is not much I have not seen, yet this plague slowly diminished my life. At some point I had continual skin infections which even hospitalized me. I am not one to easily give in. Alas, psoriasis continued to grow and spread. I spent approximately 35 years of my life fully covered up, regardless of the locations, such as the beach, gym, work, or my own house with guests. I was the guy who attended Aikido classes, not just wearing a big thick gi, but also full-length black stretch clothing to prevent blood soaking through to my gi. That's right, allow me to explain. My relationship with psoriasis meant continual flaking, cracking and bleeding of my skin. The best way I learned to describe how I felt continually on a 24/7 basis was itchy, numb and pained. The itching was relentless, everywhere and all the time, to the point where I didn't know when bugs, insects, spiders, etc. were crawling on me. My mother would often ask me why my car was so dusty, and I had to explain that it wasn't dust, and regardless of the cleaning and washing routines I had adopted, it was nearly impossible to keep up with my shedding skin. Needless to say, it was a weird experience trying to come up with excuses and funny stories when people watched me bleed through my clothing at work, while I trained, went to the gym, etc. All of this made life unbearable for me, as you can imagine. Having to explain blood stains as I was teaching people, flaking, etc. Needless to say, intimate relationships became very difficult when you look at a monster. I had to grow up confident and strong for numerous reasons, and yet psoriasis slowly assisted to diminish this. Thanks for letting me overshare my journey. Dr. Blank knew of my condition and continually encouraged me to attend GHH. She did this not just because of the psoriasis and Dr. Blank's results, but also because she knew I found it extremely difficult to find what I would consider good health care in Canberra. Recommending Dr. Blank, she also knew that in the past I had travelled all the way to Adelaide and further to obtain treatments, etc. I was reluctant because, as stated before, there is not much I have not witnessed, experienced, and or lived through, and I greatly lost faith in the medical profession, at least in regards to my illness. After some time, I took her advice, and Dr. Blank became my GP and was good enough to write a referral to Dr. Blank because my condition worsened still. At this stage, I quickly want to say you have some fantastic doctors working at GHH, and I appreciate all of them. Dr. Blank, it took a while to get here, right? On my first visit to see Dr. Blank, approximately August 2023, I was barely able to move without severe pain. As usual, I had covered up my entire body as much as possible, head to toe, and she diagnosed me correctly from a quick glance. It should be added at this point, my body was pretty much completely covered with psoriasis, and I was advised by Canberra doctors not to drive. Dr. Blank further examined me and listened to my story/history. She then made the bold statement that she would have my condition controlled by Christmas. I found Dr. Blank was friendly, funny, and knowledgeable. She prepared the paperwork and assessment I required to gain the assistance and medications I required. On my second visit, she was good enough to allow my clan family into the appointment. Again, she demonstrated a pleasant and professional approach to aiding me. Further, it was my son who immediately noticed and commented that Dr. Blank smelt good. Further later on our way home, he stated Dr. Blank seemed friendly and caring. This may not be significant, but my children often try to fake being well so as to avoid any medical intervention here. 1. Blank, if I may, did me a huge favor by advising me about my son's skin condition, even though she was not obliged to do so. She even offered to see him, which I know he will have no problems doing. Your advice has worked, and my son is not nearly suffering as much as he was. I cannot thank you enough, because my family's well-being means more to me than my own. 2. Blank, I want to thank you for your demonstrated expertise, care, humor, and kindness. You have significantly reduced the constant itching and pain, at least 90%. You have reduced my cleaning, increased my sleep and quality of sleep. You have not just improved the quality of my life, but I feel you have actually allowed me to live. This was super long-winded, for which I apologize, but I wanted you to understand my sincere gratitude. 3. I cannot speak highly enough of your efficiency, kindness, and down-to-earth approach, allowing general people like me to understand the processes, the treatments, and the options. Thank you very much, Oliver.